for UEFA Nations League. And the other games is Estonia 0, Slovakia 1, Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan,
Yeah,
Azerbaijan,
Azerbaijan, yeah.
Azerbaijan 1, Sweden 3, Northern Ireland 2, Luxembourg 0, Belarus 0, Bulgaria 0. Okay, guys, let's talk about the Portugal game. They won that game 2 goals to 1, and Cristiano Ronaldo scored that goal that gave him the 900th goal of his career. What do you make of that, Nasu?
There's this young, before I go into the game, before the match, there was this young lad, 18 years, that was called up by the national team. And the first thing Ronaldo told him was, hope you're okay, hope you're fit for this game because you just played the game in the weekend. And it's right to manage these young prospects, to manage the time they play on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he was trying to be a father figure to the person. And he said, I am not just a father figure to the Portuguese national team or the young ones coming up. I am also like an elder brother kind of figure. So which means don't call me a father because he's 17 or 18. He's probably the same age as my son. But I also need to look out for him as my younger brother as well. So I think with that mentality, I think he's done a good job for Portuguese national team, and he's going to do better, even if he takes the reign of that coaching job. But still on the pitch yesterday, it was a different team, it was a different identity of play. It wasn't like, oh, pass Ronaldo the ball throughout yesterday's game. It was kind of everybody was playing their best game. Everybody was having fun on the pitch yesterday, and you could see that. And you could see anytime they make an error, everybody was fighting for the ball. It wasn't just plays and pass it to Ronaldo, he would get the goals. Even him himself was coming down to midfield to make some critical passes. You ask yourself, is this man actually 40 or is it 39? Or is it just lying about his age? Maybe he's still younger than 27 because he still plays with so much passion, so much energy, and the young ones couldn't actually keep up because I saw the likes of Rafael not even. Come on, you ask yourself, what happened in that game? What is it?
Okay, no, John. That game, Ronaldo scoring his 900th goal of his career. What do you make of him? Less because some consider him as GOAT, or one of the GOATs, depending on how you want to see it. Because social media has started busting again. Once one of them scores, start that debate again. Who is? But he scored his 900th goal of his career and winning that game for Portugal 2 goals to 1.
Yeah, kudos to him for scoring the goal, getting his 900th. No be beans at all, as Nonso would say. So kudos to him getting it. The GOAT conversation has ended. Any other thing about that conversation is just fans trying to stir the pot. It's done and dusted. 3 Ballon d'Ors ahead, 1 World Cup ahead, and the conversation is history. Okay, so this is a legend, a living legend, who is still playing football and putting the likes of Rafael and co in big disarray because they can't even keep up or match his energy. In football, we are led to believe that as you hit your late 30s, early 40s, you start slowing down, you start losing steam. But clearly, Cristiano Ronaldo has flipped the script on all of us because the man is more fit today than he perhaps was 10 years ago. And kudos to him, his regimen, his work ethic, the way he trains himself. I remember somebody, it was Rio Ferdinand who visited his house, and after they had a meal, they went into the gym for 1 hour. That tells you the man's impeccable work ethic. Kudos to him. I hope he keeps playing and he breaks the 1,000 goal record because clearly the only person to have said to have done it was Pele, but there's no records man, and this man is giving us proof every single day with his own records, and hopefully he breaks that record.
It's not only Pele that they said did it. The other man from Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah, 800 and something. But Ronaldo has broken that guy's record.
This man again has done it on paper. They say on paper has done it. Maradona. That's why they always put the two of them name ahead.
No, but I don't think
Maradona
800, I think. So they think these people. I'm mentioning names of people they said have done it, but we only see it on paper. We're not seeing clips of it. But Ronaldo said you have. He wants to have proof, so evidence go there. Evidence, as in when you find evidence go plenty. So I think kudos to him. He's done well for the world of football. Like John said, at the age of 30, you start slowing down, you start firing down, you start looking for what's your next big move. Maybe I should start playing as a player manager. Then from there, I'll go in as a coach, and maybe after 40, I start my job as a full-time coach. But man is 39 and he's still playing like someone who's younger than 25. That's why I keep asking the question. Are you sure he didn't?
That's what he did. Moving to Saudi Arabia is actually reducing Europe because he cannot keep up the pace of Europe.
But it's still the same Saudi. Some of his teammates couldn't still keep up.
Yeah, but then even in the game yesterday, this is a game in Europe. You saw it, Portugal versus Croatia. It's still the same level, still the same energy level, still the same everything. You know.
So I'm still saying people are saying now that he went to Saudi just to relax, and if this kind of energy was brought back to Europe, people still won't keep up.
Yeah, I caught an interview. He had, I think had one of the fastest growing YouTube channel, and in one of those videos he said that he scored 60 goals last season in Saudi. 60.
And we only recorded 40 something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. That game ended 2-1 in favor of Portugal. Okay, let's go to the next game. It's Scotland versus Poland.
Yeah.
That game ended 3-2 in favor of Poland. So Lewandowski scored. Usually it was a penalty. He scored that goal, and to help Poland win that game. So
Well, look at it now. People I said should start in the right position started, but I think the coaches of Scotland still don't know how to make this team work, because I don't know how you have four workhorse, though their creativity level is not up to 90%, but four workhorse in midfield with at least 65% creativity, and you still can't make them score goals, you still can't make them create chances. It's a problem for me. Bill Gilmore has at least 75% creativity. He's a workhorse. John McGinn, all these players have creativity and they are workhorses. And you saw that they started the games yesterday. Billy scored his goal. Scott McTominay scored his goal. You ask yourself, why are they not winning games? You have defensive lines as strong as that. McKinnon is starting in defense. Why are they not winning games? Against Poland, I know it's a tough opponent because they have Lewandowski up front. They have other tough strikers up front. But they could have at least cleaned it out with a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I am happy that Poland won, as I called it yesterday. But for me, this is no disrespect to the Scottish side. I feel like creativity is one, and then two, you need players who can come in and change the game off the bench. They didn't have that. Another thing you need to look out for is, Billy Gilmore is such a creative player and he's also a workhorse. But then sometimes against some opponents, you need to have an out-and-out workhorse in that position and get somebody creative up front.
I think that's where they need the likes of McGinn to start.
Yeah, but then McGinn was not played off the wing instead of being played in the 10 behind the striker. But then, it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, mentality may be the root cause, because let's call it as it is. We saw it at the World Cup. They only played at the Euros. They only played attacking football on their final game because they wanted to go out with at least some form of applause. I think mentality they come into games with is important. And then secondly, looking at the recruitment thing too, because at the end of the day, these guys, Billy Gilmore, Scotty, will retire very soon. Yes, it's the truth. If you have more crop of quality players within the Scottish national side, you can now deploy Gilmore and Scotty up forward, either as a forward or in that attacking role up front, and you are not afraid of the back. But you don't have quality in those places. You have to deploy Billy in that position or Scotty alongside him, and then you play a more defensive game, because there's no reason why they shouldn't have come out with a result in that match.
Okay, that game ended 2-3 in favor of Poland. Okay, guys, remember we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. I have some comments. Let me read it before we continue international football, because they are talking about Ronaldo in the comment section. Emmanuel Okitibi is saying Ronaldo has showed that when you properly take care of yourself, you can go far in the game. Yeah. Wealth is saying what made Ronaldo today is his mentality. His mentality is in another level. Okay, Ronaldo is a big player. Everybody talks about this mentality, and that's what part of the thing that made him exceptional in his game. Okay, let's continue with the National League. The big one that everyone was expecting to have a whole lot of scores in it, and there's Serbia versus Spain also.
Well, when I said it yesterday, I said if the Serbian team could match them in midfield, join the midfield and create, not just because they'll be expecting to hit on the break, and Spain will be also cautious of that. If they could manage that space in midfield and make sure the Spanish side doesn't hurt them there, then they have a result in that game. And I think that was what actually played out. They had many midfielders playing in attacking roles, and they had many defenders also. But watching the runs of the Spanish attack, and I think it was a great one for them. Good result for
Serbia. What?
Yeah, good result for Serbia. Terrible loss for Spain, even though they
It's a
drew.
draw.
Come on now,
It's a draw.
John. Come on
Terrible
now.
loss for
11
Spain.
against 11.
Yes, at the end of the day,
See-
11 against 11, no doubt. But then
Mhm.
some 11s are better than other 11s.
You don't forget say when you win
Simple.
trophy. You don't forget say when you win trophy, everybody go put eye for you for the next match.
Regardless, I don't think so.
No, John, calm down.
Regardless.
It's not see. It's not about that. When you win a trophy, look at let's use Italy for the Italy Euros 2020 after winning it. Look at their performance so far after that tournament. Even in the World Cups, everybody was like, "No, we won't let you."
Who play World Cup?
Sorry, 2020. Sorry, I mean the National League after
Oh,
the
okay,
Euros.
okay.
And they not even the World Cup, they don't allow them qualify.
They don't even
They
qualify.
don't allow them because everybody come like now they make mouth too much. Moku watching now. So it's just those things. When you win trophies, in the next particular 4-5 games, everybody will be targeting you to lose. They want to get a point off you, and once everybody wants to get a point off you, if you don't build a better team around that side, you have a problem.
The only thing you tell me, and I'll agree with you now, is if you tell me that coming off the preseason, coming into the season, they are not fully fit, I will agree with you.
Fully fit. They are paid on already 3 games.
They are not
Spain-
fully fit.
Spain-
I will
Spain are
agree
playing 4
with you
games
that
already.
their fitness level is not where it was at the Euros. I will agree with you on that. But telling me that everybody knows their game.
It's not that everybody
I
knows their
disagree
game.
with
Everybody
that.
is trying to know their game, so they want to hurt them somehow.
I disagree with that because I felt that they had everything it took to win that game yesterday, but they just didn't make chances pay.
Serbian
They
team
didn't
would-
make those
and I
chances
told you the
pay.
Serbian team
And
will shut them down in midfield, and that was what they did. Every coach has
Okay,
a
every-
technical and scouting role to do their homework on other teams.
So that game ended 0-0. Everybody was expecting goals. Yamal played. Nico Williams played. I think what they missed, let's say they missed Morata because Morata did
Oh,
not-
now you're beginning to say they miss. Ah, God.
I have to
Not
because
say
I
I
think
do-
out of the whole 11 that won the Euros,
Mm.
it was only Morata that mixed this game that was played yesterday. So
Mm.
let's say that they missed Morata and that's why they weren't firing very well.
So let's say you miss Morata. as
Not
well.
me. Do I look at Spanish to you? It's good because I'm fair. I don't miss anything. I don't miss it. I'm just talking about the Spain national team. Okay, let's move over to today's fixtures. It's Belgium playing Israel and France versus Italy. That's the big one. But let's talk about Belgium versus Israel for a while. Belgium, they have been on the front in all tournaments, both the World Cup. The golden generation are already fizzling out. Just remaining, I think, De Bruyne and maybe one
Lukaku.
player and Lukaku.
And then Telemans.
We can't even call Telemans.
No, he was part of them at the time. He was at least on the bench at some point with the golden generation.
So how do you this Belgium now they are trying to build again. This coach is trying to build again. Courtois said that he's not going to be coming back to the national team because
until he resigns.
Because he was expecting that he will be called up for the Euros, but he played only about 3 or 4, 5 games before the season ended. So the coach decided not to call him up. He was angry, said that he's not going to come back to the national team. But this game against Israel, John, what do you make of that? Do you think that the way they are building, Belgium is building, they are going to win something in the near future?
It's winning trophies is still on the horizon for Belgium. I wouldn't put it past them to win something in the near future, but it's on the horizon. It's not readily available even at the next tournament.
The number
Let's
you're
call it
trying
what
to
it
call
is.
is not available at the moment. Winning trophy don't far from them.
It's on the horizon, but it's not near.
Leave
It's
that
not
it
at
don't
hand.
it don't far from them.
It's not at
like-
hand right now.
If the likes of Togan, Eden, the Hazard brothers, Kelvin, Lukaku at his prime,
Company,
Company,
this people get squad.
Betoji,
They had
if
squad.
the
They
likes
had
of
the wrong
those,
manager.
if the likes of those
I accept.
could
They
not
had the wrong
win,
manager. That's the thing.
they had.
A wrong manager.
Okay, now, we were saying this thing yesterday that if the manager does not really tell who wins game, it's depending on how you manage the team.
Who said so?
When I said it yesterday, and I said we were talking about the Ballon d'Or coaching list, and I told you about the coach that won the what's it called, Copa America, and everybody was like, you just say manager now.
But that was what I was saying. Now the guy in the job has a pivotal role to do with the team, irrespective of who he's playing with in his team.
Okay.
And that's what we said yesterday, and you're admitting to it today finally.
Some coaches shy.
So
Some
that
coaches.
it's true.
So let me be frank with you. coach follow play football. You look at what Pep is doing, what Arsene Wenger did,
Sure.
look at even what Arteta is doing. Imagine is the idea, is the vision, the way you want to play. Even the coach, we were talking about the Spain coach yesterday. Look at what the vision he has for the team. Probably you might do your tactics well, but the player might not get your tactics. But if you are consistent with these tactics, you might get the results you desire. But let's say with Belgium, this Belgium team, are they winning? Are they going to win? They have a national team. They have a World Cup to qualify. They have okay. They just finished the Euros. They didn't win the Euros again. So soon after this tournament, maybe highest the World Cup, De Bruyne probably might retire.
After the 2018 third place finish, yes,
that's the best they could.
That's the best they came close to, and that's the best they will come close to for the next foreseeable future. So
Okay,
if you say you have a trophy on the horizon, I disagree. Belgium
There's a trophy on the
not,
horizon for them.
unless they have to.
It depends the time horizon for them. It could be a decade, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 15
John,
years.
if you say 10 years,
But there's a trophy
John,
on the
if you
horizon.
say 10
for
years,
them.
10 years now, let's calculate the next 10 years because we're going to calculate 2030 World Cup. So we'll say 2026
World Cup,
2026, 2030.
2028 actually Euros.
No, I'm not talking about the World Cups first. We have 2022, 2026, and 2030. These are 2026 and 2030 is like 8 years from now.
Yeah.
So 2030, you know, say they're not going to win at that time.
I'm saying
Then
it's
the
on the
Euros,
horizon.
the Euros now, we have played 2024. They don't enter
There's 28 to come.
28.
Yeah.
Then 32. This 3-4 tournaments I don't call, nothing there for them for this tournament.
I disagree.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see as it be now.
Building. Let's see what Belgium is going to be building in this tournament. Okay, guys, remember we are live on YouTube at Vote FN Sports. So I'm going to read some comments again. Emmanuel Okitibi saying Alonso. Okay, let's start with Udechi Dozie. He said the man is something else. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, he is something else. Actually, he's a good player. Nobody is going to doubt that. The problem is him is that he was playing in the same era with another great player. So that comparison is always going to stay. And let me continue with the comments. Emmanuel Okitibi is saying Alonso, regardless when you win, you are up. You up your game. See Manchester City now. He's talking about Spain. He's talking about when you win, you have to keep moving up your game. Emmanuel is also saying Belgium and France to win today's game. Emmanuel is saying Belgium is very, very far from winning any trophy. Golden generation was all wash because nothing
come out.
From
Nothing
it.
come out. Thank you very much.
Well, he's saying golden generation did not see good. Leave Belgium. Okay, let's move over to
Same
France.
with England too. If you are
Same with
there,
England. Let's even talk about England.
England
England
always get golden generation. Not even want to tell me. England always get, because there was a time where you have the midfield of Frank Lampard and all of that, and now you have another. They don't win.
Okay,
now they don't get another golden generation. They don't go still win. So
let's move on to the next game. Is France versus Italy. That is a big game that is going to happen today. That game will happen is 7:45 p.m. today. France versus Italy. Also,
you know, they've not settled the beef of 2006 World Cups.
Yeah.
If you see the match between these two teams, it's always a war. They've not settled the beef. I still say this. They've not settled that beef of who the best team is, because one team got a red card in the finals, and that beef still continues among the players. So since then, we've seen them play friendly games. You see it like a heart-blood war, and you ask yourself, what is this actually football, or is it just personal beef between generations of players? And France and Italy will continue in that regards today. So about this game now, I'm not going to talk about tactics. I'm just going to talk about war that you're going to fight on the pitch. It's going to be reckless tackles upon reckless tackles until they resolve themselves and understand that it's past football. The generation that fought that war in the World Cups have gone, and this is a new generation. Let them enjoy the game.
They haven't gone actually. That generation hasn't gone.
They've gone.
Are
they still playing?
Wait.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, sometimes you do not see things in perspective. There was a generation that was on the pitch that lived through it, and the generation living watching the game that went through it. Do you understand me?
So it will still continue
Yes.
till all of them for more
I'm
fashion.
telling you, that generation is still there. So
what I'm even talking about is that when you talk about Italy, you can't compare Italy in the last 10 years and Italy now. There's
Of
nothing
course,
to
no,
fight
I'm
about.
I'm not comparing about. I'm not talking about the. If you talk about level of performance, that generation don't go. They were great players. The generation that came after it, I saw the reply of, because Chiellini wrote a book, and I saw Shevchenko's reply on that book, and he said, why would you write a book you write a book about yourself, but what is in the book is filled with other players you played against. You didn't actually write one thing
about yourself.
yourself. You saw the reply. That was Shevchenko's reply, that you're just battering every other person in your own book that is supposed to talk about your own life. Now I'm just saying this, that if Chiellini, that we saw, okay, let's say I saw Chiellini full time and I was like, he's a great defender. If he didn't meet the mode of defenders that were in Italy before him, the likes of the older players, Maldinis and Mazarazzis, how are you sure that this next generation that is coming up now will meet that mode of Chiellini, let alone meet the mode of the Maldini before them?
Okay, but that game, France is still heavy. They are one of the biggest team in Europe when it comes about national football. They have a complete squad. I think what they are lacking in that midfield is a creative, in quotes, because Griezmann is the only creative player they have. Pogba is not there again, and some of their creative players. But France are already building the next generation. If you look at the Celebas, apart from they brought back Conte, they have Tchouaméni, they have a whole lot of players to bank on in the next maybe 5 to 6 years.
Sure, yeah. France have a credible side. They have, top athletes. You have people who understand the game, who read the match, who know how to play the ball. So they have a very, very good squad. The only excesses or blemishes I would say to the game is having that spark in the midfield that creates.
They keep missing that.
Yeah, they keep missing that. And if Pogba is not there, there is somebody else in the. There's a saying in the Bible that says that a wise man's knowledge is disregarded because he's poor, right? So there's somebody in that France side. In that France side that is not called up, that is the missing link. But maybe he's not playing at a big club. That's why he's not being called upon.
Name him.
And if they discover him and bring him into the team,
name him.
He will change that midfield for them.
Name him. All this say just talk now. I know see the only person
I'm just saying it in parables. If you want
name the player,
don't
see
name,
John.
consult me later.
Look at it now.
France will consult you.
See, we know Camavinga plays a defensive role, but he's also creative. Forward passes, you see that excellent in games. You saw that in Real Madrid last season. Tchouaméni, on the other hand, defensive, is good around the ball. He can build with you, ball box to box. But Zaire Emery is somebody else I'll be looking at. If John doesn't want to give
yes,
name, I'll give name.
I was thinking that he's going to cost.
If you will not call name, I'll call name. Zaire Emery.
He says small club. That's why I was worried.
Yes, that's maybe he was thinking of somebody that was playing for maybe Lille or maybe Montpellier or Nice. There are players that played there that should be in the national team, but they are not. Fine, I'll give you that. But Zaire Emery is one of the creative minds that should be playing for the French national team, but he's not starting. Then you go down to Inter Milan, they have many of their players playing there. You have many of their players playing for PSG as well, the Colomboanis and the rest of them. But if you're not going to play these players, play a Griezmann behind the strikers. He can fit in well in that position. Play a Griezmann behind the strikers. He fits in well anywhere in that position. And play a front three that will score goals. Not attackers that will dribble the goalkeeper and miss the post. Play attackers that will dribble the goalkeeper and find the net. Then you play Griezmann behind them and you have a result. Why do you
even need a striker that will dribble the goalkeeper?
Okay,
striker that will play the shot and score. No need. I'm not talking about tapping. I'm talking about you have the ball, you play your shot, it's in the net. Simple.
Not all those strikers. Some strikers.
If only we could give France Haaland now,
Some strikers will play shots and they will still hit the bar.
I said if only we could
give them now. No way.
They will win all the World Cup.
See, I'm just saying, you just say find a striker that will play the shot. Some strikers they play shots and only bad in the sea. That's not good there. Uruguay. Some strikers
Okay, that game will happen 7:45. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube now. on Volt FM Sports. If you go there, check us out. We are talking sports live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. So I'll go reading some of the comments. They have an interesting comment here. Interesting comment. Ude Chidozie is, does Ten Hag have a vision? You're always attacking Ten Hag. Please leave Ten Hag alone. He also say that he's building, so let's give him time. Okay, Wealth is saying, please leave England out of this discussion. England thing is just like Ponzi scheme. Omo.
Wow, that's cold.
Wealth is saying the war between France and Italy is not over.
It never finish. The war
It
will
is-
continue until all of them come up
It
on
is the
football.
same war Nigeria is having with Ghana and
And
South Africa. Which Argentina?
No,
and
I
Athletics
honestly-
will
I
be
think
saying
honestly
France
Argentina.
is missing the combination of Pogba and
PMK,
Kante.
PMK, Matuidi, Pogba, and Kante. They are still missing that combination.
Matuidi is retired.
That's what I'm saying. That all of them, Pogba is not in the game.
Emmanuel is saying France's problem is their coach. Why is Zelmer Emery and the young man who joined Munich is not there? So, what is your
My
take, John?
heart
Okay. What is saying, John, name the player. This is the golden generation of France outside Zinedine and Henry era. So, John, name the player. What player are you talking about?
That is not being
That-
called up.
Which player are you talking about, John?
I don't name one for you.
Is it the player
Yeah,
you're talking
name
about? Name the
Give us
player,
the
John.
name.
I told you guys, you know what?
Okay, let's leave John.
Okay.
John is playing politics. Ude Chidozie is saying,
It's prophecy.
Ude Chidozie is saying there is a man in that England team that him and Trophy has been on war for a very long time.
Oh boy, come on now, don't go there, please. Don't go there, man. I feel like crying right now.
Okay, Emmanuel Okitimi say Mikel Olise is sound enough to fix the hole in the French midfield. Is it the person you're talking about, John?
He plays from the flank, not really in that midfield position. I won't put him there. I
Okay,
won't
guys.
put him there, no.
We don't know what John is talking about. Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are going to go on a quick short break. When we'll continue with international football because there are a lot of games that happened in South America and Africa. Stay with us.
Hello, Enugu. Have you heard? Volt 104.3 FM is granting small businesses in Enugu a chance to be heard and to be known. Let us help you advertise your business for as low as 2,500 naira per spot. And if you pay 50,000 naira for 20 spots, we will give you 10 spots for free. For more inquiries, visit Volt 104.3 FM at 64 Ozobolo Street by ESBS Junction, Enugu, or call our marketers on 0815-628-5384 or 0816-215-5195.
Volt 104.3 FM. UBA, they give everybody 75 reasons to jolly this season for the UBA Legacy promo. Over 200 million naira don't day where people go win. 75 people get chance to win 1 million naira and even more. Just open UBA savings account. Come save at least 5,000 naira inside every month to qualify. The more you save, the more you go win. Just go www.ubagroup.com or dial star 919 star 20 hash. Make you for start. Terms and conditions dey o. UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. Okay, let's move back to the African Cup of Nations qualification. It happened yesterday. I'm going to give you the result before we talk about some of the games. First, remember you can join the conversation with us in the studio. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Okay, let's give you the results of the African qualification. Malawi 2, Burundi 3, Guinea 1, Eswatini 0. Eswatini 0, Central Africa 3, Lesotho 1, Congo 1, South Sudan 0, Ghana 0, Angola 1, Tunisia 1, Madagascar 0, Algeria 2, Equatorial Guinea 0. Okay, let's talk about the first game. Ghana losing at home to Angola. After the game, the fans started throwing things in the field. They were angry. They started scattering everywhere. They were happy that they lost that game at home against Angola. But generally, you should be thinking that Ghana should be winning this kind of game at home. Sure.
I think they underestimated their opponents, and Angola has made them pay. Simple and short. They should be winning, but it is what it is in football. Somebody comes to the pitch who's more prepared than you. You pay the price.
And also that game ended 0. Everybody was surprised because everybody was thinking that at least Ghana, just the same thing that happened with Nigeria and Benin. At least Nigeria lost away, but this one they are playing at home, and they first got angry and started because I think they didn't like what they had
This
referee ended the game.
This
or
mentality
like
of fans attacking the referee, attacking the fourth officials,
destroying things
and
in the
destroying
stadium.
things after this game is lost should be changed. We should come away from it, because the last time it happened in Nigeria, I think it was in Abuja, after renovating the Abuja Stadium, we lost the game to Ghana and didn't qualify for the World Cups, and they ended up destroying the stadium and attacking the referee for some fouls they did not award, and attacking the players for not giving their performance on the pitch. I think that mentality has to change, because that game against the Angola side yesterday, the Angolan side have been prepared. They've been silent. We talk about the Morocco side. Every year you're hearing news of Morocco building new stadiums, Morocco doing this. Angola side have been preparing themselves for the next AFCON, and so for some time now they've been under the radar. Nobody knows what they were doing, but now they came out to the Ghanaian side and they won a game. We should give them kudos for performing that way. We should give them their kudos for putting up the light against them, for putting out the Ghanaian light. But yet the fans have gone to their own way to attack these teams, and it's not right.
It's always sad to see when this kind of thing happening, especially African football. I hope you are going to correct that. Even somewhere in Nigerian leagues, these things keep happening, even though we are trying to stop it from happening in Nigeria and everywhere in Africa. Okay, let's move on to another big one. Is Algeria winning Equatorial Guinea? What do you make of that? Algeria, they are building too. I won't say they are building, but they are a big side. They just a couple of years ago just won the African Cup of Nations, but they winning that game 2-0 against Equatorial Guinea. John.
Yeah, I think it's a well-deserved win, no doubt. If you talk about the football ecosystem up north, you have to put them in the conversation, because they are a formidable side. I saw that game. It was a very, very good one from them. I didn't expect them to come away with that result, but they did. They did a good game. I think one of the things you have to do when you go into a game like this is not give your opponent too much credit and focus squarely on doing your games. We saw that in the interview that this man gave. Every time you miss a duel with your opponent, Arteta, every time you miss a duel with your opponent, is very pissed off about it. He wants everybody. So those types of attention to details, the way they set themselves up to play the game, should be commended, and the way they execute on their game plan too. Very, very good one from them. Hopefully they can qualify and we see them do well.
Good game, also, right?
Yeah, definitely good game. I said this yesterday before the show, and I said the Algerian side have always been one to look out for when it comes to African football. So they had a wonderful game yesterday. Good game for them.
Okay, today's fixtures, I'm going to give you today's fixtures. Kenya versus Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone versus Chad, Ivory Coast versus Zambia, Togo versus Liberia, DR Congo versus Guinea, South Africa versus Uganda, Morocco versus Gabon, Egypt versus Cape Verde, Senegal versus Burkina Faso, Mali versus Mozambique. Okay, let's pick one of those games. Let's talk about the African defending champion, Ivory Coast versus Zambia. And also, what do you make of that game, and what is your prediction on that game?
Ivory Coast. With the players they invited this period, I'm just looking at them with one corner of my eye. Like, are you sure these players would give out? These players have always been on the list, but I think this period there was a little change to the list of players they invited, and they played against the Zambian side, who's also been under the radar. I hope what happened to Ghana against Angola would not happen to them. That's just it. I just hope it doesn't happen. But I know these players have been good. They come through whenever they call them. But this Zambia side have also been working. So I just hope they don't get their heads down.
That African Cup of Nations they won. They finished third
in their group.
Luckily for them, they qualified. Imagine that we are doing straight up qualifying. They would have been gone out in the first round of that game. But let's move on to the next game. Another big game that is happening is Egypt. Okay, let's talk about South Africa versus Uganda, because South Africa, they are a good team too. They are building a whole lot. 90% of their players normally play in the South African league. That shows the improvement they have in that league. But South Africa versus Uganda, John.
Yeah, I don't see that as a game that South Africa should struggle to win. No disrespect to the Ugandan side. I might feel they should, but then they should be wary of the Ugandan team too. But I think it's a game they should be comfortably winning and progressing. But these things, you are open to surprises, because I remember Bishop from Transekulu once told us that there are no small teams in Africa again.
There's
So,
no sport. He was saying that
yeah.
before Nigeria lost that game,
Yeah,
we are
he
actually
did.
comparing. Yes.
he did.
So look at it now. The South African team has a player on the Ballon d'Or list. Calm down now. Why are you laughing now? They have a player.
Come on, man.
To tell you how good that they are, they have a player or how promoted, because now we're talking about not just the performance of the player on the pitch, it's how your marketing strategy works. To tell you how good they are, both on paper and on the media, they have one of their players in the Ballon d'Or list, and I think is the goalkeeper. And you look at the last AFCON, he was fantastic. He came through for them for the AFCON. I think he was their saving grace in the AFCON still, the knockout stages against Nigeria, and they lost in that game. And you ask yourself, what are they prepared like? And there's a Percy Tau, an experienced player as well in the side. So I think they have everything. They are well-rounded in every department. They have good players. They have good structures. They have good training camps. They have good scouting teams. So I think they are good to go in this team.
Okay, let me stay with you now. So Egypt versus Cape Verde, Salah is still, but somehow with all this their Salah thing, they have not actually won the Nations Cup, and they have not even qualified for the World Cup since Salah made his debut. So I don't.
See,
But
say that Cape Verde team, and they look them because recently Cape Verde don't they improve. Then there is this history of players, if they had followed in their lineage, then we saw that some players that should have played for Cape Verde are playing for Portugal right now, and they are called the GOAT or a GOAT. Their grandfather or their grandmother was from that side of town. So if this kind of players, if they've gone back to the roots of perhaps building a footballing community among themselves for Cape Verde, I think if they start tapping in the mentality of the person that like their grandfather once was, then they will probably beat the limelight. I'm talking about, if you check it, go and read the history of Cristiano Ronaldo. They said his grandparents, one of his grandparents, were from Cape Verde.
Yeah, but then look at the nation Cape Verde now.
They just
they do not have. I understand what you're saying. If you put them in context with other teams in Africa, you have teams in Africa that they have nations that are 220 million people. Obviously, you cannot look for talent and go one team over there. But then
who told you? Try India. Who told you?
they are doing it in cricket.
Oh, okay. We'll try
It
India
must
with
be- must
football.
be-
No.
football.
See,
They are doing it in cricket, they are doing it
even
in
in
other-
football, because I saw the last under 17 World Cups and I saw them perform.
Okay, Egypt, but normally Egypt should be winning that game. Okay, let's stay with another big African team. Is Senegal versus Burkina Faso. No, so Senegal, they still have money playing for them, and still have a whole lot of big players playing for them.
This is where they say sentiments don't rule the game. He's playing for Saudi. He's still sweating on the pitch. He's still in his top form. Play him in the national team if he will get you results. And I think that's what they're doing. They're sticking with the players that would get them a win. Either way it goes, either way they play, just get the win and let us settle it there. That's just it.
John, Morocco versus Gabon.
I have to go in Morocco.
Morocco.
Though no small teams in the game, but Morocco.
Morocco. Okay, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can call us now and tell us your own prediction about the game that is happening today and what you make of Cristiano Ronaldo scoring this 900th goal of his career. Okay, let me read some of the comments here on our YouTube channel. And Ecletus Obi is saying, I enjoy watching Ghana lose at this last minute. Oh, everybody enjoys Ghana. This small
The banter between
Nigeria and Ghana. Ude Chidoze is saying, when his Super Eagles playing, they are playing tomorrow. Okay, he's saying, Ude is saying Egypt will win. Emmanuel Okitibi is saying Cape Verde has been growing lately.
They've been growing,
Then
yes.
Ude is saying Senegal win and Morocco to win. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Okay, let's move over from the African nations qualification. Let's move over to South America because yesterday 2 games were played, but let's start with the first game. Argentina winning that game against Chile 3-0.
Nil, yes.
Yes, and Messi did not play. Messi is injured, and Di Maria was giving his standing ovation that he has retired from international football. Di Maria is out of Argentina, so he said that he's going to be in every game of Argentina, cheering them from the stand. But that game, 3-0 comfortable 3-win against
Can
Chile.
you give me my flowers now?
What flowers are you talking about?
You forgot that this man was saying that it would be difficult for Argentina to win without Messi and Di Maria. We had that heated conversation yesterday,
Yeah, I
I told him. He said even with Fernandez and McAllister, and McAllister, my son, just scored a goal to say no. So
Okay, let's take this call.
See, I know the
See.
midfield is good.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Hello. Calling from Ghana, Chelsea man.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Hey, my brother, I like about this Ghana. And I don't get to stop us every time.
Everybody say, every Nigeria is happy that they beat Ghana somehow. I don't know.
I like them. Some of the trouble Nigeria, I don't understand.
Okay. All right.
Then I like America to win their match. Yes.
okay.
Okay. Thank you very
Then
much.
Nigeria will try to do the 2-0-3.
Then Nigeria will play tomorrow. Yes.
Yes. Nigeria will play tomorrow by 5 now.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
May they try this year after all. They don't come to stop us here.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I want to ask something. This is Chilwell and this Fafana. That's Fafana from France.
They are,
Yes, I'm already sorry.
no, they are still at Chelsea. Yes.
But now we can travel with the referee. If they want to sell the guy,
They can't sell them now. The only thing they can do is to cancel their contract and they could become free agents. But Chelsea will not cancel their contract, so they will stay till January before they can sell them.
Okay, my brother, I want to ask.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, we are talking about Argentina team.
Yeah,
They didn't have
Arge-
Messi, but they are a complete side.
Their complete side, they showed up and they got the win. 3 goals. Alvarez with an assist and a goal. What more could you ask for?
And I think when they won when they won that cup this last tournament, I think they conceded only 2 goals. Their defense are tight, their attack are scoring, their midfield are obviously okay. Even without Messi, probably they are happy going for the next World Cup. They are
Straight
one of
up,
the
as
favorites
they
again.
should.
See, I said something and John just picked one part of that thing. He didn't pick the rest of it. I said the midfield is good. But when you have these 2 players, there's an exceptional play. Now, why do you think at the long run, Dybala was called back into the national team? Because they know that at this junction, nobody can replace Di Maria. So Dybala might fit into that role a bit.
Dybala doesn't play from the wings.
Who says?
It
Most
doesn't.
times.
He plays most of his games. He can see this is a player you can deploy anywhere in the front.
For the first part, everybody
For
thought that
Juventus,
Dybala should be someone that will replace Messi because he was playing behind the striker. That's what most time he played
Yeah.
most of his games.
At Juventus, his first 2 seasons at Juventus, he was playing from the flanks. Last season from Roma, he was playing from the flanks. I think, and they had a midfielder there, so I think it was good game.
Dybala has always played as a 10. If you're asking me now, okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen in the studio.
Okay, good morning. Name and location, please.
Yes, my name is Sonia Vitalis, aka Choose Agent Losing the You.
Okay, what's your contribution?
My contribution is that I want Super Ego. Make sure before 10 minutes tomorrow, 10 minutes when they start the match, they have give them like 2-3-0.
Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll talk about Super Eagles first 30 minutes tomorrow. We'll talk about that game tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
For Ghana losing their match for the Kumasi or Accra, Nigeria is not good.
Okay.
At least they could have get draw. They have to understand the feeling of the fans.
Okay.
But all standing, I love how they lose the match.
Okay.
Because Ghana and Amayaka too much.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Amayaka too much. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, someone dying there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Argentina, they won that game 3-0 to nil. Okay, let's take this call before we move to the next game that happened in South America. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please. Okay, IK.
Ghana losing their match. It's very good. I thought people are saying that they have a lose match. They will lose match in that stadium. Because the time when Nigeria play them, they say their stadium, they will lose match there. That's something they do spiritually. They give them the edge to win match.
Okay.
Tell them that anytime when Nigeria play well, then they have a push to make. I think Nigeria have seen that they're gonna have lost match there.
Okay.
Okay.
So for that thing, I want them to come out and qualify for
Nations Cup.
tournament.
Okay, thank you very much. This beef. Okay, let's stay with South America. Argentina, nobody's there. Probably they are going to be qualifying for the World Cup. There is no competition for them, John. There is no, because they have a complete side.
Yeah.
They are a complete side.
In defense, they still had the same line of defenders they had last season. In midfield, many of them were still remaining. Molina, DePaul, McAllister, and the rest of them. I gave credit to the midfield yesterday. I gave credit to the defense line yesterday. I only said that creativity might be lacking in the wings, and that's in person of Messi and Ronaldo. But yesterday we saw a Dybala come off the bench and give us a performance we've not seen in decades, scoring the last minute goal to get them scoring the third goal of the game, and an introduction of Alejandro Garnacho in that game. So we see that
an assist.
Yeah.
and he had Dybala combined well to get that goal. So I said maybe this team have already had the replacement for these players and we just didn't see it on time. So perhaps I'll apologize for that part, that I didn't see this replacement for Di Maria and Lionel Messi, but I still feel it in my gut that these players will be heavily missed in the camp.
Well,
No doubt.
no
but
doubt, but
win irrespective.
Messi will still have to play to the next World Cup, obviously,
Sure.
if they don't play in the next World Cup. Okay, the other game that happened in the South American qualification is Bolivia trashing Venezuela 4-0. But let's talk about the game that is happening today by 12:30 a.m. 12 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. in the morning. Uruguay will be playing Paraguay. Then by 2 a.m. in the morning, Brazil will play Ecuador and Peru versus Colombia. Let's talk about Brazil versus Ecuador. Brazil has a team that have underperformed for the past, let me say, 3-4 years. It's not the same, but we keep talking about Brazil team. It's not the same Brazil that we used to know when they have the Ronaldinho, the Kaká. At that point, Kaká wasn't even playing as a first team player when he was actually a big player, because they were having a whole squad, like the squad there was.
Do you know, when you have an attack line of Alexandre Pato, Kaká, Ronaldo, and the rest of them, somebody must bench somebody. I think when the same group of players was playing for AC Milan, I was reading something about an interview of Ancelotti, and he said when you want to take free kick, this person take free kick, this person take here, this person take here, and Zidane raised his hand and he said, "Oh man, there are too many of you guys." I think that was what happened in Brazil then. There were too many creative players, there were too many defensive minds, that when you mix these two together, you have a proper team. The ones that are manning the defense are leaders in the defensive lines. The ones that are manning the attack are leaders, not just players. They were leaders in their own right. That was what Brazil had there. But now they only have few leaders here and there. The likes of Bruno Guimaraes, the likes of Lucas Paqueta, the likes of maybe these two leaders now I just mentioned in midfield. Douglas Luiz.
You're putting Paqueta as a leader.
He's a leader if you look at the way he plays. Douglas Luiz. These are little leaders.
The
Bombastic side
follow
I'm
from Brazil
giving
is
See,
smart. I can't even.
like I said, the flair of football then has changed. Now we're having people that just play. You know, it's about numbers. How many passes did he complete? How many shots did
As
he
he
take?
should.
Now it's
Yes.
just about numbers. It's not about the performance no more. So I think that was what puts them in that category of them falling out to this level.
But if you look at that game, do you think that Brazil is comfortable win that game against Ecuador, John?
I think they should. Yes, I think
Ecuador
they
on a good
should.
side though.
I think they should, irrespective of Ecuador being a good side. I think they should. It's just now if they can get out of their head and win.
Okay, the other game there is happening is Uruguay versus Paraguay. Let's just get your straight prediction for that, because I need to talk about one more thing before we go.
Uruguay on a good side. I suppose they win.
Okay, let me talk about this. Okay, before I go and talk about this particular thing, because there are two players that came to my mind that they are still free transfer, but we're going to talk about one of them because it's very important. Let me read some comments we have here on our YouTube, because remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. And Ecletus Obi is saying Argentina has learned to move attention away from Messi and camping on Di Maria's miracle. He said Argentina is a team that have future replacement. And Athletic Sobi is also saying this is just a game without Di Maria. The truth is that Di Maria effect will remain irreplaceable in Argentinian team.
Sure.
Since Di Maria inclusion in that Argentinian team, he has scored in all the finals. So it's true, he has scored in almost all these finals Argentina have played, and he has bailed Messi. He and Martinez, the goalkeeper, has bailed Messi. He gave them the World Cup. Okay, but before we go, guys, there is this player that when the season ended, he said that he's not going to renew his contract at Juventus, Rabiot. Now, the coach Francisco Deschamps came out to say that he is disappointed in what is happening in Rabiot because Rabiot is like his son. If you notice that throughout the Euros,
we said it in the Euros.
He wasn't even hiding it again. He was a player that he lost, but now he can call him up to play because he's without a club. He finished with Juventus. Everybody, he was thinking probably I'm a superstar when I say I'm not renewing, because Juventus wanted to renew his contract. He said he's not renewing, that he's going to come and every club in the whole world will start looking for him. At some point, Manchester United asked for him, but they died and they went for Ugarte. But what do you make of this Rabiot situation? Because his father, Deschamps, is actually worried.
I don't know why you had to call him his father.
He's actually worried.
Look at it now. This is one thing we talk about other teams. Rabiot is a good player, yes. He's a great player, yes. But similar case that happened to him happened to David De Gea last year, and everybody was infuriated with Man United. That how would you stall your contract talks until the end of the season?
Which is
so the player
valid.
now, you stalled the contract talks, you continue to stall, you continue to. He tells you this is what I want, this is what I want. You give him that, you take away something. He comes back, you give him that, you stall the contract talk until the end of the season, and he said, okay, fine, since you don't want me here, you don't pay me enough respect, I need to leave. Now that doesn't that should affect his call up to the national team side. Okay, but if he continues to train, I think that's where the message is now. If he had kept like maybe going to like some players, I saw the likes of Eriksen after his contract was terminated with Tottenham Hotspur after the heart issue. Yeah. He went to his former club Ajax, and he was training with the side. He didn't really get a heavy pay salary for Ajax, but from training with the side, he got a little pay, and from there he moved on to big things again, Brentford and the rest of that, and Man United now. So look at him playing for. He should have gone back to a club that maybe a small club, maybe a Como side,
at least
train with them, maybe get a 6 months contract with them and play.
He's thinking that he's a big player. Why will he go to Como?
No player. Look at Como now. Como has the biggest players that have played in Europe. It's all about play time, so you can get called into national team.
You know, for me, I felt he missed it when Manchester United came calling.
Man United just priced the market. They don't want to buy.
This is the second time, two times.
He's a free agent.
See, they just priced that they don't want to buy. Man United if he signed up.
For Rabiot rejected. He rejected the first time and extended his contract, and this second time again, yes. And then this time around again, he didn't move. So I think, you know, good luck to him. He has to find a club, but I think he should. If we even saw it, there were a couple of players who were out of contract who came in and were training with Arsenal some time ago. He should find a club, still at least stay in training and, you know, get a deal. You can't tell me that no club has come for him. Maybe just not the spec.
The spec he's looking for, yes. You know? Okay, let's see how that develops. He's still a free agent. The French coach is actually surprised about this whole thing, that he's surprised that Rabiot is without a club
still now. Depay, he is still a free agent too.
So let's see how that develops. Okay, guys, this is how we are going to end it today's show. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Volt FM Sports, and thank you for all the calls. Tomorrow we'll talk about Nigeria. Nigeria is playing their game tomorrow, so we're going to dwell on the Nigerian and what we are expecting the Super Eagles to do for us. My name is Godwin. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! That's a goal!
Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sentenced the electricity board.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Odinibo.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.3 FM.